Hey, welcome. It's Monday, February 22nd, 2021. It's Simply Des Moines 15-minute market update. My name is Les Sulgrove. I'm with Via Realtors. And let's jump in and see what's happening in this week's real estate market compared to last week. So this week, you can see we've our homes for sale actually has dropped again. We're down to 1,891. We'll talk more about that in a minute. We're very, very low inventory, 1.3 months of inventory. That's just a little over 30 days of inventory. We've got coming up on 3,000 homes under contract in sale pending status. That's just huge for January, February, March, April. You know, that springtime market, we never see it that high until we get closer into the heavy spring market. So that's really, really heavy right now. And again, 1368 closed sales year to date, up about 180 over last year at this time, or actually over last week at this time. And the big thing you're seeing here is the median sale price is starting to drop a little bit. That's a hint that things might be changing for the better here, and that's going to be a topic for next week. So let's come back to that here in a second. So the top story this week, it's kind of a running joke anymore. This week's top story is yet another record low. We did, like I say, we hit 1,891 homes for sale yesterday. And we actually hit that number twice this past week. We hit it on Wednesday, and then homes came back on, we got homes entering the market. And then Sunday, it dropped back down to 1,891. And, it's just, we should be getting close to being done with this record low stuff here, but it's going to be hard to say. So we'll keep watching that. The other top story this week is a graphic from our multiple listing service, showing service. It's called Showing Time. And what Showing Time does is it gives a representation of how many homes are being shown at any point in time throughout the year compared to last year. And what this graphic shows you here is the dark line is 2020. And you can see right here, this huge buildup. This was prior to COVID. And then when COVID hit, showings kind of dropped off. I've talked about this in the past. But it's a good representation, and you can see after the rest of the part of the year, it kind of follows along there. But let's focus on this part right here. Let's just enlarge that. And the orange line or reddish line, whatever color it is on your screen there, you can see that we were building up pretty close to 2020 activity, which is really good because 2020 started off really, really well and continued well, but it started off really, really well in January, February. But you can see here that we had a pretty severe drop. Well, that all came from due to these below zero temps, and those were affecting our showings. Obviously, buyers were kind of slow to be out here this past week. So it's not unheard of. It's, to see this drop like that. But it certainly is showing an indication that sometimes even the weather can affect showings. Now you can see it's kind of back up a little bit. So that's good. We're kind of back on track here. So that's our top stories this week. So let's move on. The week in review. Now this is comparing this week to 2020. So we're looking now compared to a year ago. And, we're still trailing behind last year's new listings. 204 homes were added to the market this past week. That's 26 below last a year ago. Price increases were more in line with where we normally are. You remember last week we had a pretty good jump of price increases again. And then price reductions also are holding pretty steady. In fact, there's fewer price reductions out there right now than what we normally see. And a lot of that just has to do with the fact we have such low inventory. In the sale pending category, sales and solds, the buyers are still out there. I mean, there might be fewer showings because of the cold weather, but they're still out there making offers. And we're, 35 offers ahead of this same time last year that were accepted, with almost 270 homes going under contract this past week. The back on market stat is always a good one to follow as well. That's whether homes are staying sold or staying under contract. Currently at 15%, or 41 homes came back on the market this past week. So, it's hard to tell. Again, it's always hard to tell what causes that, but just a good number. As long as we're under that 20%, it's not too bad. The closed sales, again, we're just still trending well ahead of last year. This is an important number to watch, because we were able to predict early on that we were going to hit 16,000 plus sales. And as long as we're staying well ahead of last year, I'll be able to continue to kind of make our predictions as we get throughout the year. The next couple of weeks is going to be interesting. As we get into March here, will be really interesting to see how open houses change. Because right now, you notice these open house counts percentage-wise are way down compared to a year ago. Well, if you remember, this was before COVID hit. So a year ago, we had, total open houses, we had almost 45% more open houses being held than we do right now. Well, currently, we're still kind of being affected by COVID and weather and everything else. So once we get past when COVID hit, we're going to probably start to see these numbers get closer to 1, 2, 3, 5% instead of 40 to 60% differences. So just kind of one thing that we're going to watch here as we kind of move throughout the year and we get past that second week of March when COVID really hit us. So this week's spotlight, we're going to talk for a minute here about the heat of the market. It feels good to just say heat or hot with this past week when it was minus 0, 17, 18, 20 degrees below zero. But we're going to talk a little bit about just how hot is the market and kind of where the action is happening and which parts of the communities are having the most sales. And, there's currently 1,892 homes for sale in the MLS as of yesterday. That's total homes for sale in the entire MLS, 1,892. That's our record low. And 80% of those homes that are currently for sale are for sale in the metro area. And the metro is kind of described by the city of Des Moines is broken down by 7 areas within the city. And then there's 16 additional communities around the metro that we consider suburbs. And basically, so this is our metro is 80% of that 1,892. So that basically says there's 1,512 homes for sale in the metro. And breaking that down by new construction and resale, this is where it gets really scary. Yeah, 1,092 or 1,029 new homes for sale within that 23 defined areas within our metro. Only 483 houses are resale, and it's 483. And actually, it's probably going to seem lower than that because that 483 also includes condos and townhomes that are existing homes. So, this 483 is going to be kind of a number where that's just really playing really heavily into why we're feeling such a shortage of houses, and we're seeing all of these conversations in the real estate community. Looking for housing, everybody's frustrated. Buyers are frustrated because they're not finding it. Well, this will be the week to, kind of look back and see why. So let's take a look here. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do here, these graphics are all on facebook.com/SimplyDesMoines stats. You'll want to go there and either, download or print off or at least use that to reference these graphics because they're pretty detailed this week. And this will give you a chance to kind of look at, what community you are interested in and see, what the homes for sale inventory is. So we're going to look at this 483 homes for sale that are existing homes. And you can see right here that this is a graphic that's sorted by the most listings to the least listings from left to right. And West Des Moines currently has 64 homes for sale. I'm going to highlight 3 of them. West Des Moines, Ankeny at 43, and then Des Moines Northwest at 39. The Des Moines Northwest is kind of that Beaverdale, Merle Hay area, Douglas, kind of popular part of the northwest part of the city there. And so these 3 communities are going to show up here on the next graphic, which is the number of homes in the sale pending. And so, as you remember, those 3 communities where West Des Moines had 64 homes currently for sale. Well, they currently have 179 homes in sale pending. So, almost 3 times as many homes that are in sale pending that we have for sale at 64. Ankeny is second there with 41, and they currently have 187 homes. This is resale again, not new construction. We'll look at that in a second. 41 homes for sale, but 187 of them are under contract. So Ankeny is by far, Ankeny, West Des Moines, and Des Moines Northwest are by far the hot markets. That's where we are. Urbandale's fourth place, and Des Moines Northeast is coming in at fifth place, and then it goes down from there. A lot of this just has to do with the inventory we have, and so as homes start to come on the market, this is going to shuffle around a little bit. But gosh, this is just crazy that we have such low inventory. And let's take a look at it from the perspective of new construction. Our new homes on the market, we have 1,029, and again, the same kind of chart here, left to right. Ankeny, West Des Moines, and Waukee are the three leaders. There are 222 in Ankeny, 157 and 126, and then it trails down with new construction. And if we look at that under contract, it's the same three communities. Ankeny is first at 276, then it's Waukee at 145 with homes under contract, and West Des Moines at 128. So these are the three areas that are being heavily built currently right now. And these are all offers that are under contract and in sale pending status. So back to 483, it's always kind of cool and neat to think about, how many homes are for sale. And it's might be a little frustrating to, what part of town has that number of homes for sale. But let's look at this now from the perspective of price points here. So what you have here is a graphic that basically from left to right, it's under 100,000, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and then it jumps from 5 to 1 million. And then the last bar chart down there is above 1 million. So 26 homes is all that's currently on the market in our metro for resale homes under $100,000. So if you've got a first-time home buyer that's looking under $100,000, or if you are a first-time home buyer looking in the market under $100,000, you've only got 26 homes to choose from. And I left this graphic in this particular perspective so that I can then add the new construction. And you can kind of see here how the new construction plays to that. What's really, really interesting here is that of the new construction homes, 524 that between $100,000 and $300,000, over half of the homes that are currently for sale that new construction are under $300,000. And that's a testament to the builders that are being able to kind of keep our pricing within reach of some of those move-up buyers and first-time home buyers that are not finding something that's under resale. So quite a graphic there that we're seeing. So for next week, I think we're going to talk about, when I'm going to take a stab at predicting when we will see the sellers re-entering the market. We need them on right now, but I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for sellers, actually, that I think we're going to start to see some sellers kind of jump back into the market. And I'm going to try to bring you some markers that will show you next week that maybe that's happening. We already kind of saw at the very front there that the median list price was starting to come down, and that's a sign that the lower end market is coming on the market and it's selling faster and selling. So hopefully that's gonna be one of the signs. So I'll have some more graphics to kind of show you what I think's driving the market. So thanks again for showing up every week. Please go to my YouTube channel there at the bottom, youtube.com. Just search Les Solgrove Simply Des Moines and you'll find the channel. Please subscribe and you'll receive these reports in your inbox every week, or you can always just go to the YouTube channel or to Facebook and you'll see them there. But that's pretty much it for this week. Stay warm. It's going to get above freezing finally. We're going to have a lot of melting. So I hope you've saved your quarters for the car wash. So we'll see you next Monday. Thanks again for joining me.